Hello, Dr. JP. Thanks for coming to Bangalore. Can you tell us what you felt about the results?
I think it's a terrific campaign. I think in Bangalore you found some outstanding candidates, which we could not find in Andhra Pradesh or in Hyderabad, frankly. This is exactly the kind of leadership that we need, with credibility, with experience, with integrity, with competence and commitment. And I think the volunteers and the young people, they have done a fabulous job. And though the contest was only in 5 of the 198 or so wards in the city, the message certainly did reach home. The greatest disappointment to me is not so much the number of votes that Loksatta candidates got, but the percentage of polling itself in those respective constituencies. If in Bangalore city we had 44% polling, I would have been happy if there was 55-60% polling in these constituencies where such candidates are available. Because so far the middle class has been complaining that there are no candidates to vote for. All parties are the same, therefore why vote at all? But here for the first time a clean slate of candidates is available. They have a powerful agenda and they want to transform the way things are done, and that's exactly what all of us, citizens of this country, want. I can understand the poor people voting for money or inducements. I can understand the middle class staying away from the vote when there are no good candidates, no good platform. But middle class not going out to vote, not showing support that is required to change the country, that is a bit of a disappointment, but it's a short-term thing. No country gets transformed overnight. No matter how much you try, each time it gets better, but until you reach the tipping point, it's almost as if there's no outcome. So we have good output, but outcome is a problem. That's going to happen when you reach a tipping point. So we have to learn the lessons from this and keep at it instead of getting disappointed or despair. Because we must remember, it is not the fault of the campaigners or the candidates. The outcome in the election is a reflection of the voters' understanding, a society's level of maturity. It is not about the candidates or the campaigners, and therefore us feeling guilty is the worst possible response.
Now, the amount of support we got from the volunteers, students, housewives, IT engineers, you name it, anyone, people from extremely well qualified individuals, putting out all their personal lives, professional lives on hold, camping out near our wards, working day in day out. How do they go on from here? What do you think they should do from here?
No, it's a bit like a big balance. You have on one side of the balance 1 ton weight. On the other side, every day you're adding 10 grams, 20 grams, 50 grams, 100 grams. And it's almost as if all the effort you put in to add more weight here to collect the material is all futile because the balance, the scales still do not tilt. But that's the nature of things. But the day you reach that 1,000 kilogram, even 100 grams is enough to tilt the scales. So we may be at 600 kilograms or 700 kilograms. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that there is no effort, there is no input. But outcome will not be seen to be altered. And therefore what it means is that we require to do just that bit more. And once we reach the tipping point, then suddenly everything will change. If we don't take that lesson, we'll be sadly failing in our duty. It's a bit like you're throwing a ball up to throw to the other side of the wall. Now you're throwing higher and higher and higher, but still it's bouncing back, it's hitting the wall and bouncing back. It does not mean that there's no effort. What it requires is for the ball to ultimately go above the wall. Until that time it seems as if your work is of no consequence, therefore there's no point working. It's not true. So that's where we are. All democracies went through this. In the United States, in Britain, other countries, they went through very painful phases. If we are rational as a people, as a society, things should happen quickly because here we have removed the alibis for apathy of the voters. We have good candidates, we have a good slate of agenda. But then societies don't act rationally. Societies do act irrationally. And that's the logic of politics and society building. But slowly but steadily, the general will understand what is right and we'll have the gravitas. And then suddenly things will change. But when the change actually comes, it doesn't come because the efforts are that day. It's because the cumulative efforts over a period of time. So all of us are really contributing to that cumulative effort in order to bring about that fundamental change on that one day when very swiftly very many changes will be possible.
Thank you, Dr. JP.